We'll continue with the programming part. Next, let us write a program, 8051C program, to generate a rectangular wave of 2 kHz with 60% duty cycle in port 1, pin 2. Assume crystal frequency as 11.0592 MHz. Use timer 0 in mode 1 operation. Show the delay calculations. Till now, we have written programs to generate a square wave. In a square wave, T on and T off time durations are equal. Duty cycle means the time duration for which the signal has to be in on state divided by the total time period. So here when we say 60% duty cycle, that means for when we say 60% duty cycle, that means for 60% of the time duration the signal has to be in on state, and for remaining 40% it has to be in off state. So let us proceed with the calculation first. Here the frequency of the signal to be generated is 2 kHz. Okay, so let us find out the time period. So time period is inverse of frequency. We have got it as 0.5 millisecond. 60% of 0.5 milliseconds gives 0.3 milliseconds, and 40% of 0.5 milliseconds gives 0.2 milliseconds. That means for a duration of 0.3 milliseconds, the signal has to be in on state, and for another duration of 0.2 milliseconds, the signal has to be in off state. Here the oscillator frequency is given as 11.0592 MHz. So the timer frequency is oscillator frequency divided by 12, and the timer delay is inverse of frequency, which comes up to 1.085 microseconds. Next, let us see what should be the value of T on. So here it is given that the T on period is 0.3 milliseconds. Okay, so considering the timer delay, the total count is 276. 40 of the count is 184. Let us see what should be the value that has to be loaded into THTL register in order to get a delay of 0.3 milliseconds and 0.2 milliseconds. Okay. For 0.3 milliseconds, the value of TH and TL is obtained as FEECH, and for T off, that is for a delay of 0.2 milliseconds, the value that has to be loaded into THTL register is FF48. So these values are obtained by using the formulas that is discussed earlier. That is value to be loaded into THTL is equal to the maximum value in that particular mode plus 1 minus n. So we have performed many calculations in order to calculate the value that has to be loaded into THTL. So next we'll write the program. So here in the question it is given as port 1, pin 2. Okay, here slight change has to be done. It has to be P1 cap 2 instead of P2 cap 1. Kindly note the change. Okay, then we have to declare the functions. Then here we have to configure a pin as input pin. So this bit, my bit, is made 1. My bit indicates port 1 pin 2. Then a logic high signal has to be generated. So T naught M1D, that is timer 0 delay. Within the bracket 1 is written, that means a delay of 0.3 milliseconds has to be generated. So now a function is called. Okay, so here character I takes the value 1. Timer 0 is used in mode 1, that is why T mod is equal to 0x01. Then it checks if a delay of 0.2 milliseconds should be generated or a delay of 0.3 milliseconds should be generated. Based on that, TH and TL has to be loaded suitably. If I is equal to 0, that means 0.2 milliseconds delay has to be generated. Hence TH and TEL, it is loaded with FEEC respectively. Suppose a delay of 0.3 milliseconds should be generated, then TL0 has to be 48H and TH0 is equal to FFH. Then the timer is started. Then continuously we need to monitor TF flag to check if there is any overflow. Once there is an overflow, then it will come out of the loop. Timer uncontrolled bit is made 0 and the timer overflow flag bit is made 0. Okay, so here in the program you can see that initially a delay of 0.3 milliseconds is generated. Then we have to wait for some time duration. My bit, you make it 0 signal is sent. Then a logic, then a delay of 0.2 milliseconds is generated. Okay, so this part of the loop will be executed. Then once again start the timer, continuously monitor TF0 flag to check if there is any overflow. Once there is an overflow, timer uncontrolled bit and timer overflow flag bit has to be made 0. This is how a rectangular wave of 2 kilohertz and 60% duty cycle is generated. Next, assume that 100 Hz external clock is being fed into pin T0. Write a program for counter 0 in mode 2 to display the seconds and minutes on port 0 and port 1 respectively. As we are writing the program in C, 8051C, you need to include the header file #include reg51.h. We are using a function. The function has to be declared before the main program is written. So void time unsigned character. This is the function. Okay, then coming to the main program, we are declaring a variable. Okay, and the variable name is val and it is initialized with 0 and it is declared as character. Character means it takes 8 bits, unsigned character. Okay, then T0 is equal to 1. Okay, T0 is equal to 1 means you are making the pin work as input pin. Then T mod is equal to 0x06 to indicate counter 0 in mode 2. Then TH0, it is loaded with 100. In the question it is given as 100 Hz external clock. So 1 second, 100 pulses are required. While 1, TR0 is equal to 1, the timer is started. Then the timer overflow flag is continuously monitored to check if there is any overflow. Suppose there is an overflow, then the function is called and the function is written to calculate the minutes and seconds. The minute value has to be sent through port 1 and seconds value it has to be sent to port 0. So minute, it is calculated using value divided by 60. It gives you the value in minutes. And seconds, it gives the value in seconds. Value percentage 60. The remainder, it's multiplied with 100 and then the value is obtained in seconds. Let me say 60 is a value, 61, let it be the value, divided by 60. So minute is 1 and the seconds is also 1. That value will be sent through port 0 and port 1 respectively. Then after the function, the value is incremented by 1. Then TR0 is made 0 to stop the timer, and the timer overflow flag bit is made 0. This is how we get the value in minutes as well as seconds. Next program, timer 0 is used as a counter and timer 1 is used as time base of 1 second. Write an assembly program to find frequency of the signal connected at port 3 pin 4, that is counter input for timer 0. Assume a crystal frequency of 22 megahertz. Till now the problems, calculations whatever we have done, oscillator frequency was taken as 11.0592 megahertz. Okay, here the frequency is given as 22 megahertz. So the calculation differs. First you have to find out the timer frequency. Timer frequency is this oscillator frequency divided by 12. Then take the inverse of that. So coming to the calculation, oscillator frequency divided by 12, it gives the frequency. Inverse of that gives the time period. So the maximum time delay that can be generated is 0.0358 seconds. But the delay that has to be generated is 5.45 into 10 to the power minus 7. Okay, so this 0.0358 has to be multiplied with 28 in order to get a delay of 1 second. Coming to the programming part, tmod is loaded with #15h. Till now we were just using either timer 0 or timer 1 or counter 0 or counter 1. Here both are used. Timer 1 as timer and timer 0 as counter. So look into the frame pattern of tmod. Okay, tmod has to be loaded with #15h. Then make port 3 pin 4 work as input port. So set bit port 3 pin 4. Okay, then we need to get a delay, maximum delay has to be obtained. So TH and TL is loaded with 0. Start the timer. You know, we have already calculated that 28 times the loop has to be executed in order to get a delay of 1 second. So we are using R0 register to hold that data 28, and TH and TL 1, it has to be loaded with 00h. Start the timer. Continuously monitor the timer 1 overflow flag bit. Once there is an overflow, clear TF and TR. In order to get a delay of 1 second, continuously you need to repeat this set of instructions 28 times. So use the instruction DJNZ R0, back. Okay. Then whatever value is there in TL register, it has to be sent to port 2, and whatever value is there in TH0, that has to be sent to port 1. That is done using the intermediate register A. Move A, TL0, move P2, A. So whatever value is there in TL0, that is moved to port 2. Similarly, to move the value of TH0 into P1, move A, TH0 and move P1, A. And this program should repeat continuously, or it has to get executed continuously. Hence jump again instruction is used, so that it will come back to the main program. So please note this program. Here we are using both timer 1 as well as timer 0 in timer and counter mode respectively. Next, coming to serial communication. Serial communication means sending one bit at a time. Already classes has been taken, and concepts of serial communication is explained by sir, and even you have written few assembly level programs. Next, I'll look into few C level programs for serial communication. So write a C program for 8051 to transfer the letter C serially at a baud rate of 9600 continuously. Use 8-bit data and 1 stop bit. So remember, for serial port communication programming, you need to load few registers. Okay, that is the TMOD register has to be loaded. Then, since it is mentioned that the baud rate is 9600, TH1 value, it is 0xFT. Just go through the concepts of serial communication. You'll get to know why it is 0xFT. Then serial port control register has to be loaded with 0x50. Okay, go through the pattern of SCON register. Okay, this indicates, if the value is 0xF50, it indicates that we are using 8-bit data and 1 stop bit. Then continuously we need to send C through the serial port. So while 1, so first the character has to be loaded into SBUF register, and continuously it has to be monitored to see if the character is completely loaded. Once the character is completely loaded, the timer interrupt, transmitter interrupt flag, it is set. Once it is set, it is an indication that the bits has been transmitted, or in this case the character has been transmitted. So SBUF is equal to C. Continuously monitor the timer transmitter interrupt while TI is equal to 0. Once it is 1, it will come out of the loop. Then make TI is equal to 0. This is how we are transferring a letter C serially at a baud rate of 9600. Next program, write a 8051 C program to transfer a message hello serially at 9600 baud rate, 8-bit data, 1 stop bit. First you have to include the header file, hash include reg51.h. Then the function has to be declared. Function name is trans. Okay, and we are using a character ch. Void trans unsigned character. Then coming to the main program, tmod th1 SCON register has to be loaded. Tmod is 0x20 to indicate timer 1, 8-bit auto reload mode. TH1 is equal to 0xFD to indicate 9600 baud rate, and SCON has to be loaded with 0x50 to indicate 8-bit data and 1 stop bit. Then the timer has to be started. Next we are declaring the function. Okay, we need to call the function. Here trans is a function name. Trans, within the bracket h is written. So this function is called character, it takes a value h. This h has to be loaded into the buffer register, that is SBUF. Then continuously monitor to see if the transmission is complete. That is done using the instruction while ti is equal to 0. So continuously this instruction will be executed until the character h is transmitted. Once a character is transmitted, then ti has to be made 0 to enable transmission. Then come to the main program. Next, character e has to be transmitted. So the function is called, the character takes the value e, loaded into SBUF, ti is monitored, okay, then ti is made 0. So this procedure will be repeated for different characters also, okay, that is HELLO. That is how this message is transmitted serially. Any program, it can be written using different logics. You can write the same program using array also, okay. So the logic has to be proper. You can write the program any way you wish. So here in this case, character by character, we are transmitting this message hello. Okay, next program. Write an 8051C program to send two different strings to the serial port. Assume that a switch is connected to port to pin 0. Monitor its status and make a decision as follows. SW0, if a switch is in 0th position or if the value 0 is read, send your first name, or SW is equal to 1, send your last name. Assume crystal frequency as 11.059 megahertz, baud rate of 9600, 8-bit data and 1 stop bit. Okay. Similar programs where you're monitoring the switch, it is written earlier in case of timer programming. Okay. For clarifications, you can go through that program. Here the switch is connected to port 2 pin 0, hence define port 2 pin 0, okay, and the name SW is given for port 2 pin 0. Since we are using just a pin of a port, we are declaring it as S bit. Okay, then we have to initialize few variables, that is character I, and here in the question it is given that based on the switch position, either the first name or the second name is sent. So in the last problem you can see that in the last program you can see that character by character we are sending the data, but here we are declaring it as an array. Later we are sending it character by character. Okay, so here the variable name, F name first name, and L name, that is last name, it is declared as array. And in this particular example, the first name is taken as Atul and the second name is taken as Godse. Okay, so here we are using timer 1 in 8-bit auto reload mode. Hence tmod is loaded with 0x20. Okay, then 9600 is the baud rate, hence th1 is made 0xfd. Then we have to load SCON register suitably to enable transmission, hence SCON is 0x50, indicates enabling transmission and reception. Okay, then timer has to be started. This is done using the instruction tr1 is equal to 1. Next, check the position of the switch. If switch is equal to 0 or the bit that is red is 0, then Atul, this name has to be sent, else the next message has to be sent. So here check out how many characters are there in Atul. 1 2 3 4, so totally 4. Okay, so you're taking using a for statement for I is equal to 0 and I lesser than 4. That means I is equal to 0 to I is equal to 3. Totally 4 characters will be transmitted. So f name of I, so initially let me say I is equal to 0. I is equal to 0 means A is the character that is loaded into SBUF. Then continuously monitor if the character is transmitted. Once a character is transmitted, I has to be made 0. This has to be repeated for the remaining characters also, that is for T, U and L. So now with the execution of this for loop, the complete message, that is Atul, will be transferred. Then suppose the value that is red is 0, else, okay, it will go to the second part of the loop. For I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, because here in Go say 1 2 3 4 5, totally 5 characters are there in this message. We are starting from 0, hence end at 4. Okay, so L name, that is this name, last name, L name of I. When I is equal to 0, it is G. When I is equal to 1, it is O. When I is equal to 2, it is D. I is equal to 3, it is S. And I is equal to 4, it is E. So character by character, you're transmitting it into SBUF. Then you will be transmitting and continuously monitoring the TI flag. Once the transmission is complete, that is character by character transmission is complete, TI becomes 1. Once it is 1, then you make TI is equal to 0. Okay, so that is how we are going to send two messages, that is Atul and Godse, based on the position of the switch. So we have looked into few programs in assembly level language as well as C level language. Okay, so now we'll end with the programming part, that is of module 4. Next we'll be starting with module 5. There you will be studying the concepts of interrupts also. So once the concepts of interrupts is known to you, then we will write a few programs on timers, counters in assembly as well as C, and we'll look into few more programs on serial communications in assembly as well as C. Because when multiple tasks are being carried out, then we will be using interrupts. So concepts of interrupts you should be aware.